Every bit of story requires conflict. Somebody has to make it happen. I've been doing fight choreography for about 4 years. I've been studying martial arts since I was about 6 years old. Various styles I go in and out. Back in high school is when I wanted to make films. I just used an old VCR camera, and I just used a bunch of my theater buddies, and we tried making a few films. Later on, I got pretty serious about it. Now that I finally started, I couldn't stop.
Let's see about that.
What's very intricate to fight choreography is the overall use of exaggerated movements. A real right way to throw like a good right hook is that you kind of go straight in and then you kind of turn at the jaw at the end. But unfortunately, through camera, that's not too visible. You kind of widen in your punch and then bring it across like that because this sells to the camera. I don't really train for competition purposes. I talked to my friend Ricardo about what the difference is between competitive sport fighting to choreography.
I've competed in 2 different fight sports, professional kickboxing and professional mixed martial arts. I hold a 2nd degree black belt in Kempo Karate, and as of late, been working on martial arts movies with Darren. Doing the martial arts choreography was a different feel for me. You know, everything that I've been taught to do in sport fighting and martial arts over the years, it doesn't necessarily transition well to the camera. So things like, you know, placement of your hands when you're throwing punches, blocking, everything's, you know, taught to be nice and tight. But if you do that on camera, people won't be able to see it. The other issue that I had was, you know, rapid succession of strikes. You're taught to throw a lot of power and emphasis and intent behind a kick or a punch. When you're doing films, you need to have perfect timing and placement with your partners involved so that you can tell that story properly.
You gotta untrain yourself in a way.
We would do some multiple takes. We'd have to, you know, run it again. It made me feel like Darren was being a perfectionist. But after seeing his edited footage, you know, I'm guessing being a perfectionist is a necessary part of directing and making these films. What people at home need to understand about watching, you know, UFC, boxing, kickboxing, all that stuff, is that you can watch those fights and only a small handful of people at home really know what's going on. Similar to watching an action movie, and in some point in time movie he's cleaning his M16A2. There's going to be a small handful of you out there that know what he's doing, but everybody else will be like, wow, this is kind of a waste of movie time. You know, in a sport fight, things might be over in 10 seconds, but when you're filming a movie, you know, you've got 2 guys or sometimes maybe more. You want them to watch it and get slightly interested right off the bat. You know, they say, hey, that's kind of cool, and what's going on there? And, you know, 1 minute after the next, people are just getting on the edge of their seats and they really want to see how this fight ends up.
Fights are not 2 bodies colliding, they're actually 2 characters colliding. You have a protagonist and an antagonist, and we have to find a reason why we should care about the protagonist. Why we have this need to root for him. Because if we don't have that, then what's the point of even watching? We won't have that much interest to sell off the fight. How I feel fights are done today, they're treated more like a sub-part of the story as opposed to, you know, a very intricate part. I feel like without good fight scenes, you don't have an action movie. Having the fight scenes treated with the respect that they deserve warrants bringing back a part of history that I feel has been lost. You know, Hong Kong was like dominating the action industry through like the 80s and the 90s because they treated violence with some respect. And I feel that if we bring that back, we can revolutionize fight scenes to a higher level than what they've done.